So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and ready to rumble. We have a very interesting match on our hands. We have MDR versus it is MAM. I believe that's how you spell it. Say it. It is MAM. So we're gonna call them MAM versus MDR in the battle for third place. This is going to be a big old slog, a good old best of 5 series. Like, oh my, this is gonna be it's gonna be a long one, boys. It's going to be a long one to say the least. But we have Black Scent, Dual Sight Airplane, Aslan, and India on the board. So yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something to say the least, but it's gonna be an exciting day. Of course, we did have Tay, Jeef, Kwanzi, Azius, and Tump. They just faced Crackheads. Sadly lost. I think it went 2-1 in the end. The third map, it just went a little downhill. And of course, MDR faced my Pyramids just moments ago as well. So we've got two teams that are now in the their last possible chance on placing as high as they can. With that being said, we will now begin. Black Scent being the first map. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this will play out. Of course, I know a little bit about MDR since we've watched them play. Their nade knowledge and all that stuff seems to be on point. And MAM, I saw a little bit of gameplay from, but their semi was already going on when we finished up. So I don't have a huge amount of knowledge on their playstyle other than Tump had a snowball thrown at him, which, you know, is always a lovely thing to experience when you're playing video games. So yeah, shout out Tump's dad there. Great job, Chief. Hats off to you. But we do have NRF. We have the likes of MAM and MDR on EU. Ezig leading the charge here with his M16. M16 really does seem to be the gun of choice. And with that being said, Ezig though getting shot through the door. My lord, disgusting. Luckily, Chuck is there to back him up and will shut down Tay. And that is now the site secured. Though Azerus is doing a good job here, getting 2 kills. Looking for the third here. But can't connect it onto Ezig. Will fall. And turning this into a 3v2. Still in favor of MAM here. But, well, almost guaranteed now to be in the favor of MAM here. Unless Kezian has anything to say. Place. And with that being said, Kwanzi will shut down Kezian. Kezian secured the first round here for MAM. Anyway, second round is on the board here. Kwanzi holding that mid area. It does seem as though it will be another play towards 1 here. Ezig though. Okay, no, I'm trying to think too. But flurry of frags here. Tay and Ezig both falling. Kwanzi also coming into the frag. I love how Adam's like saying, "Do you know who I am?" Yeah, of course I do. I'm not completely dumb. But Kezen again left in the 1v4. Tump on the flank will shut him down, and that is another round for MAM. Easy clap. Yeah, no, they'll have to face Crackheads, which is another beast altogether. But 2 rounds here in favor of MAM here. They are stepping up with both fragging capability. Their nades also seem to be on par right now. They are learning how to play this game extremely well here. And Tump just showing off here with a quick double kill. And Jeeves is there to frag even after he falls here. But Chuck is chiming in, will shut down Jeef here, leaving the plant site completely open. And Azerus, Tay, and Kwanzi are left for the retake. Chuck has been spotted out in upper. And Wolf in fact get the kill onto Konzi, but Wolf falls to the nade. Tay, Kezi can get the kill onto Azius though. Leaving it in a one-on-one. Tay versus Kezen, though Tay is miles away. Just inching ever closer towards that site, and Kezian playing it slow. Wolf missed the timing, looking down sight, thinking Tay was faster than he actually was. And that is a third round now for MAM. This... I'm not saying anything, but this is looking pretty clinical here from MAM, to say the least. MDR are not having the time of their lives at all. Not looking too good right now, but of course this is early days, especially in a best of 5 series. You have to have the right mindset to be able to grind through this, especially after a long day of playing. Some of these players have been going, well, we've been going for, I think it's about 3 hours now. So it's not as long as some cups, but if you've been just going on and on and on and just kept going, it does wear you down eventually. It does get to who can just slog out more. But Konzi getting a quick frag along with one of his teammates in Kezian. Refragging Jeeves though. Tump still on the site, 5-7 in hand, just can't connect the shot, but Wolfwood to Rennes, but Kwanzi is there to refrag. Gets 2 quick kills, and that is now a 4th round secured. Chuck, you okay? I don't know. He's given them some, like, a little bit of concern, you know. Might have had a heart attack from a jump scare or something, you know. Some flying around the corner isn't the nicest of experiences you could have, but it happens to the best of us. But 4 rounds now in favour of MAM here, and they are, at the moment, it just seems to be as though they're walking over MDR. They're not having the best of luck right now. But as I said, early days, this is only map 1 of this best of 3 series, and Azius with the nade onto Kezen there, absolutely no respect. And it does seem as though it will be a site 2 push here. Jeeves missing the shot, and Meti showing down Tump here. This is the site secured, especially as Jeeves missed the second shot. Just can't get them in, but of course he is so low on HP, doesn't want to Y peek and just fall to it. And that is the site secured now. Bomb is now down. And it's going to be a 4v4 situation. The retake is now on. Azius, in fact, going for the peek with the binoculars, trying to spy one out, but just no luck. Taylor, go for the peek, gets 1, gets 2. He's looking for the third onto Chuck, but just can't get. Chuck getting a quick couple of kills of his own here. Leaving it all on Azius. No, on Konzi. I do apologize there. As Chuck shuts down Jeeves. 13 seconds left on the clock, and he will go for the AWM. Going for the peek. Will miss the shot onto Chuck, and that is the first round on the board for MDR. See, as I said, early days, they're now starting to get their booties moving and starting to win those gunfights. Chuck going huge there. But Tay was looking rather scary there earlier with that retake. Of course, a few players were rather low, so it was only a couple of shots he needed, but still. If someone wasn't checking that angle or able to flick up there a little bit later, if it was any later, it could have been a very different situation, to say the least. But Azius spraying through the smoke here, gets down Ezig before falling to Rennes. Is now turning into a 4v4. Side being pushed as Tump not having a lucky time here, and neither is Tay as Kezian shuts in. And now Jeeves falling to Chuck, leaving it all on Kwanzi. 1v4 situation, and he's just pushed by Meti here. Uzi is just too stonk. But that is 4-2, the end of the first half here. MAM having a bit of a lead right now by 2 rounds, but we'll see if they'll be able to finish it up on this EU side. But Jeeves getting the early shot here onto Chuck. Is now a 4v5. Pacing has been slowed, and he has been tagged down here. Nearly thinking Tay was an enemy there. Would have been an awkward thing, especially with friendly fire on. As one of the differences to A.V.A. of Blood Squad, team damage is a thing. And it's a rather worrying thing at that. Kezian getting the wallbang onto Tay. 4v4. Battle scopes really do make or break a team in this game. I think that is a very interesting concept. And it's very great. Well, it just means we get to see some 6 scope plays. And also some nades of Jeeves that shuts down Kezian. 3, now 1 1v4 situation, leaving it all on Renes, who has now been spotted out and will fall to Quanzi, and that is now a 5th round in favor of MAM. It's interesting as well, like, as the CBTs progressed, how the weaponry has changed. Like, it was always, well, as far as I'm aware, it was always the para back in the original A.V.A. and the 74U. In terms of, like, the rifles and SMGs. But now we have the M6. The M16 seems to be king right now. I know the recoil is different on this game, so that is definitely why it is the case. But it's just interesting to see the meta of the game and how it develops. And Kezi and Jeeves both trading a couple of scope kills here, turning into a 4v4. But Jeeves actually shutting down Kezian, so that is at least what that is the scope out of the scene here. As Chuck gets another kill as well. 3v4 situation. Now the pacing completely slowed down here. It's Chuck just lurking. Jeeves holding mid, but no one is peeking. Quanzi also holding this angle. Meti though just lurking to his left, and Ren is waiting on the barrels in mid to the right. Meti, oh! Quanzi didn't spar Meti, but luckily did miss the spray of lead that went his way. And is now connecting some shots, tagging him down to half HP. And Ren is falling to Jeeves here. Is now 3v3. Sight is now being pushed, but up in the window, there's a player. Helmet is off, and that is him down as Ezek falls. And now Tay shutting down Meti, leaving it all on Chuck in the 1v1 against Tay. Half HP on both players, but Chuck does have armor to his name here. So that could, but no helmet. And with that being said, Tay will shut him down, and that's a 6th round now for MAM. MAM need only one more round to win this first map in this best of 5 series. And so far it's a pretty dominating fashion. The fragging capability of MAM just seems to be outweighing MDR right now, which is not the nicest of experiences, but you know, you gotta work with what you got right now. Got to work with what you've got. And Chuck spraying down from the heavens above, tagging up a few members of MDR, pushing out close. Will shut down Azius. Well, no, of MAM. I do apologize. As he shuts down Azius, is now looking for more. But MAM will not give it to them, as they have now rotated through mid-air. It does look as though it will be a push onto 1 here. As Tay and Quanzi are waiting in the warehouse and now pushing. Tay will fall. Quanzi is still in the warehouse though. He's looking for the headshot onto Meti. Gets one, looking up towards office here, but there is one on site. Is pre-firing, just missing the shot here. Will fall to Kezian though with the scope, leaving it all on Tump. Uzi in hand, but against a rifle in mid, you are not going to be having a nice time. And that is a 3rd round now for MDR. Still match point though, as the announcer says. You know, it's lovely to hear. You know, a little bit of reassurance there. But MAM are still in the lead by a considerable amount. But Meti and Kezen both going for the aggressive plays here, as Renner's shuts down Jeeves as well with the nade. And now Renner's getting a 2nd kill here. This is going down the drain right now for MAM. They're not having a good time. But I spoke a bit too soon there. Tump with the quick triple flank turns into a 1v2. This would have to be an ace to win this round and for the first map. But he's definitely distilled the fear of God in them. Put the fear of God in them. I'm struggling with wording here. I do apologize. Fear of God into them with that 3k. And still 1 minute 40 left. Like, if he plays this correctly, he could still clutch up. But he does have the likes of Renners and Chuck to face, both of which have health and armor to work with. That Tump is lacking by a lot. 1 minute 23, and he is beginning to rotate around to site 2. Both Renners and Chuck are still kind of aware of this situation and are holding the angle. Spotted out, will fall, and that is a 4th round now for MDR. Match point. Beautiful. Yet again, we can see if MAM will be able to finish this out, or if MDR have indeed got a comeback starting. As he's, although Tump has got a few kills here and there, it has always been rather lacking rounds, and Kezian stepping up here to shut down Jeeves yet again. And this is not looking too good right now for MAM. They are having a little bit of a struggle now. And again, Tump's now shut down by Easy. Kezian getting a second onto Tay. And it's now all on Azia and Kwanzi. As Azius does get the kill onto Ezek. Bomb is still down in mid, and Kwanzi is left to go and retrieve it. Luckily, will escape with his life and all his HP. Azius now pushing up into the window. Will spray down Meti. Turns into a 2v3. Chuck, though, holding the angle. Kezian still looking towards mid. And Renner's lurking around 2 here. Does look as though it will be a push towards 1. As Chuck now shuts down Azius, it's now left on Kwanzi in the 1v3. He's left in mid and open to 2 angles. This isn't going to be the nice difference of engagements, and he will fall to Chuck. That is now a 5th round for MDR, and they're only 1 round away from evening up the score and both being on match point. This is a rather strange turn of events. I was expecting this to go in favor of MAM. I think it was 6-2 at the start, and 3 rounds and is straight back in the favor of MDR, and especially with the nade onto Jeeves here. 5v4. No one is peeking right now. It's just one of those slow and steady games. 1 minute 50 left on the clock. And no one is wanting to peek. Understandably from the favour of MAM, because they don't want to throw this away now. But at the same time, MDR, they've got the lead, so they don't want to mess it up. They've got the early kill. They now need to just slow it down and just stop MAM from getting onto a site. The smoke's coming in. Matty will be spotted out, but he has hidden back. Kezian with a quick double kill. Chuck also coming in. You get all on Tump. 1v5. Now this man has got a considerable amount of kills during these previous rounds, but a 1v5 with an Uzi would definitely be an achievement. Will swaps the M16, deservedly so, but will fall to Ezig and is now 6-6. The score has been completely tied up here, and this quite possibly could be the first map going in favor of MDR here. They're on a 4-round win streak right now. They're stomping. Kezian's gone ham, to say the least. He's getting so many scope kills. Chuck's just pushed in like no one's business. Shut down Jeeves. And this is already a 4v4 though, as Azius isn't out of this just yet. We'll get the kill onto Chuck, showing down one of the issues, but still Kezian remains on site with his AWM. And it does seem as though they've debated MDR into going to site 2. Kwanzi is in warehouse, where Meti is close left, but Ezig is still up in mid. He's waiting. And in fact, we'll go for the door open, spots him out. But they've both traded damage here. And Meti, in fact, going for the push as Ezig... Well, it was just a pincer movement at that point. She gets shut down 3v4. And this is just not going in the way of MAM in any way, shape or form. This is all just gone downhill. Tump has gone for the AK though. He's decided to swap it up. He doesn't want to be using this SMG anymore. And this is not looking good at all for MAM. This map has just gone downhill. It's just been a rough time, honestly. An extremely rough time. And Kezin engaging in mid with Tay. Though Kezin coming off the Lasser here as Azius now shuts down Renas. Meti is still there, will shut down Tump. And and Ezek shutting down Azius. It's all left on Tay in the 1v3. And Meti's there to frag. And GG's. GG's. That is the first map in favor of MDR. And they will lead this series 1-0. Of course, this is the best of 3. So it's the first team to 3 map points. This is going to be a slog, as I said before. It's going to be a complete and utter slog. But we'll be underway with map 2 very shortly. That'll be Jewel Sight. Another map that we've seen quite a bit over these last couple of series. So we will, well, both teams have played it during this tournament. So we know what's up. We know what's up. One of the players have disconnected. I don't quite know why, so we will be taking a short break until they get back. And we are now back on Jules site. Of course, MDR are now 1-0 in this best of 3 series against MAM. Now, Jules site. I think this is going to be a really interesting one. Of course, Kezian's really stepped up. By the end of the first map, he was just going ham. And of course, Jeeves was just struggling a bit. So, and I do feel this is a reasonably scope-heavy map. Like, if you can take control of the scopes around mid-area, you've got the whole of Site 1. Well, even with Site 2, although it's a bit more defense, there are still scope angles like that can completely shut people down. So, I do feel the scope will be playing a huge part in this map. So, yeah, if Jeeves can't step up, this could be a bit of a rip, to say the least, for MAM. Tump leading the charge, though. Little Uzi in hand. Going for the push on interconnected there. Spots out one, tagging them down. And Jeeves shutting down Kezian. Obviously, the break was much needed, and he is on his A game again. Renner's holding around sight. Dancing around, will take the helmet off of one. But no kill just yet. And Meti now going for the rotate towards site 2 as Tay shuts down Chuck. This is now a 3v5. As Reynolds takes one, he will instantly fall to Tay as he gets a double. He gets a triple now, leaving it in a 1v4. And now Ezek has been spotted out and will fall to Tay as he gets the monster 4k to secure the first round for MAM. And Tay is absolutely losing. He was screaming, to quote the man, as he secures the first round for MAM here in map 2 of Jules site. Pacing is slowed right now. Bomb is lurking around mid with on Tay, but can go for either site 1 or 2 depending on the next few steps he takes. Does seem to go towards 1 here, but one of the players, one does not, but Chuck will shut down Kwanzi, the player that was low. But Tay is there to refrag Meti. He does spot a second player and does dump a few bullets into him, but no more kills just yet. 4v4 situation, 1 minute 40 left on the clock. Bomb does seem to be rotating down to site 2 here, but Rennes is holding strong here as he gets 1. And also Kezian is there with his scope in hand. Bomb is going in down though, or will be going down shortly as a flurry of nades and flashes do come in, spraying through the smoke here, just none connecting. And Ezek in fact has pushed down, will shut down Tump, and Jeeves shutting down Chuck. Turns into a 3v2, Tay and Jeeves versus the world. Kezian falling, and now Ezek falling as Tay shuts him down. And in fact, Jeeves with another kill onto Rennes here. And as a second round now for MAM, they're starting the second map off strong, especially after how the last map crumbled away from them. Hopefully this is not a foreshadowing of a repeat of the previous round for their sakes. It does seem to be a rush towards the second site here. Jeeves getting the kill onto Kezian here. And nades coming in, although it did bounce back. That was a little too close to comfort. Aziev probably questioning Jeeves' decision in life. But 5v4, Aziev just lurking around the ladder here onto site 2. As Tump does get the kill onto Meti. Tay doing a ton of damage there, and Renner's shutting down Azius. Flash coming in, but Tump is there to shut down Ezek, and Chuck quickly refragging though. It's back and forth we go. Chuck getting a second kill, and Renner's and Chuck with the triple, you know, just casually as you do, steps it up and will shut down MAM here to score the first round for MDR in the second map. Meti breaking through the box there to hold the APC from upper. See if he can spy one up, but no one is there to bite back. Dancing around the site, just not too sure just yet. Seeing what info they can gain here. MAM are taking their time. Table will spot the person up in sight, but will get tagged down. Left in a bit of a sticky situation now, especially with nades coming in. Will miss both of them though. And Tump will lead the charge onto the site. Tay will shut down Ezig. Tump shutting down. Well, Tay in fact getting the second kill to Chuck, although Tump had put a ton of damage into him. Quanzi getting killed to Meti. And it's now a 4v1. Here, all on Renners. Is spotted from upper. And is now in a very sticky situation, but pre-firing Quanzi will shut him down. But now the scope is there awaiting, holding that angle. Along with Azzy's up on upper, but he will fall as well. 1v2 now. Jeeves still holding the entrance and Tump going for the upper flank. Which could very well play out perfectly if Jeeves does fall. Indeed he does. And Tump though. He's not... No! Tump! That was too close. Tump, if you were even a millisecond slower, you would have lost that round. But luckily, he peaks at the right time. And that is a third round now for Mam. Oh, I was expecting that to be a 2-2 scoreline right there. Tump, you are the luckiest person I know right now in terms of timing. 5v5 though. Well, 5v5 as of now. 1-3. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. No nades or deaths just yet. And the reload coming in. Flashes coming out here. Flash a couple of the players, but that is not dissuading them from pushing onto the site. As Rennis shuts down one. He's looking for more though, if I can find him. As Tump will now fall. And Kezian also shutting down Tay here. Push from Mam completely slowed. But Azia's stepping up here, gets one, but will fall to Chuck. And Quanzi refragging Kezian. Turns into a 3v2. 3v1 as Ezig shuts down Quanzi, and it's all on Jeeves. Scope in hand. AWM missing the head of Chuck and will pay for it with the round. 3 rounds still in favor of Mam, but MDR are now at 2. And we are in the last round of the first half here. MDR leading the map series 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Kezian shutting down Jeeves here with a quick shot. And Meti is also put up close. Will fall to Quanzi though, as he just can't get off the shot in time. And then Chuck is there to shut down Quanzi. This M16s are just too stonk right now as Tay shuts down Ezig. Bomb does go down. 3v3 situation now. Chuck shutting down Azius. And Chuck shutting down Tay now, leaving it all on Tump on the site, but pushed from all sides. Will fall to Chuck, and that is now 3-3 scoreline. The first half has been completely even. As MDR now secure another round.
It's your turn to accomplish the offensive mission.
5v5 situation as we start the first round here. As he is going for the aggressive plays, down by 2. Almost deciding to go for the push, but in the end will not. Tay lurking back and Chuck also dancing around 1. Deciding whether to go for the push or not, but Quanzi will shut down Meta here, but will instantly pay with the refrag from Chuck. 4v4 situation now as they've secured upper 1. Nades coming in. Kezian will now shut down Tump as well. But Tay is there waiting to shut down Ezig as Kezian gets another though. He's got 2 kills to his name and the plant is coming as Chuck holds the angle and shuts down Jeeves. And that's all on Aziz. Gets 1 but stops spraying and Kezian is able to shut him down there. And that is now a 4th round in favor of MDR. And this is starting to go in the favor of MDR. Mam just losing their momentum here. Right, they start so strong and then it just starts to crumble away. I can't tell if it's MDR just adapting perfectly and understanding how to read Mam, or if this is more of just a burnout. Not sure what Meti is up to here. Just can't get the boost to work. The nade coming in here from Jeeves might catch them with their pants down, but no one is there waiting. We'll spot out the pixel gap of a push, as the push onto 2 is at least faked, and Azius seems to think they're pushing, and it's got Jeeves to come down for a little bit, but doesn't spot Kezian up there, but will actually get the second shot out. Meti also fragging Tay, but Tump and Kwanzi both going ham here. Turns into a 4v2 situation. Tump looking for the second frag here as he runs out of ammo on the AK. And Kwanzi shuts down Ezig, leaving it in the 1v4 all on Renners. And now Azius will shut down Renners and secure the 4th round. Bless. Trading little tips here. Trading little tips of the glitch. Here's a beautiful, but 4v4 now. The score has been tied up, but the pacing slowed. Tump again. Waiting in spawn. Waiting on site as Tay gets a double kill before finally being shut down by Chuck. Kwanzi, though, is continuing the pushes. He gets one to Chuck. He sprays down Renners here, leaving him extremely low. But he is still able to escape the situation as Kezian will shut down Kwanzi. And Renners now going for the jump shots here, trying to connect some damage. But none are baiting just yet. And Jeeves going for the wallbang. But again, no one is there and waiting. It does seem as though the rotators come in as Site 2 is now completely open. The bomb is coming in on Kezian as he makes his way down the ladder. And that's a free plant. That is literally a free plant. Rezians will shut down Azius, but Tump is there to refrag. Turns into a 2v1, but we've seen Kezian go ham with the scope over the last few maps as he gets one to Jeeves, leaving it all on Tump in the 1v1. And as he plants, he is aware of the situation up at spawn. Will spout Tump, but Tump basing him out with the jump and then getting the headshot here will secure the 5th round now for MAM. 2 rounds away from getting their first map point as well.
Charge defused. Operation success. Return to main base. Your efforts are commended. Charge!
And the charge does come in as Meti is waiting through lower APC. Jeeves just holding from back in spawn. And the smokes are coming in. The binoculars are out, seeing what they can do. As Tay does spot Meti, but will get tagged down just a bit. Chuck is also there waiting. 2 people peek at the same time. And Tay just can't handle it. Will fall. A 5v4 situation now. And then spawn Jeeves will get the shot. That was pretty disgusting, I won't lie, but Ezig and Kezian answering back with their own flurry of frags. As Aeus will get one, he will push onto site. Getting the second kill to Ezig. Turns into a 2v2. We'll get the kill onto Kezian, leaving it into a 1v1. Renners versus Jeeves. Battle of the M16, but Renners seeming to be aware of the situation here. And will spout Jeeves, shutting him down and evening out the scoreboard yet again as MDR gets another round.
Go, go, go!
And that is a nade from Tay there to shut down Kezian for V5. And now Chuck is there trying to get the frag onto Kwanzi, but just can't get it. And Tay with the double kill. He's now got 3 kills this round. As looking for more as he makes his way up onto the canopy. does spot out the head. Well, I think he spotted out the head of Chuck. I know we definitely saw, but I don't know if that's just because of spectator lag or something. And it's now Renners and Chuck against the 5 members of MAM here. Renners, though, shutting down Jeeves. They've all still a 2v4. Chuck and Renners. 1 minute 26 left on the clock here. What can they do? Renners now shutting down Kwanzi here, getting his head. Now a 2v3. But the members of MAM are so far spread and in some reasonably strange angles. This could work out for them in the long run. But Renners flanking to spawn. Seeing what you can do. And Azia not even looking the right way right now. He's looking all the way to the enemy spawn. Is finally starting to turn around and maybe aware of Renners' situation. But is in fact looking at ladder. Oh my, no. Not like this, Renners. Renners playing this so smartly. He's playing it so. But in fact, it doesn't work out in his favor. As time begins to run out, luckily Chuck is there to back him up. But the dinner bell has been rang. Tay and Tump both go for the rotate. Tump getting 1, but will fall to Chuck, leaving it all on Tay, who's pushing through lower here. And Chuck, 14 seconds left, will go for the peak. And will in fact shut Tay down. Score the 6th round for MDR. They're 1 round away from securing their 2nd map. Oh my, that was timing. Timing. It was all just timing there. That was so close to being around for MAM. But sadly, it is not. And that is, we are now on match point for MDR. The nades are coming in. But Kezian with the scope will shut down Kwanzi. We are now looking for more. Spraying the corners. Ezig. Nades coming in. Azius shutting down Meti with the nade. And now Tay holding strong gets 1. Can he get any more here as he rotates back to site? As Kezian shuts down Azius. 3v3 situation. But Tay is low. Tump is still decent. And Jeeves is now out of the game. So this... Chuck shutting down Tump. And Chuck shutting down Tay. A quick 3k. And that is it. 2-0 now in favor of MDR. We will go to the 3rd map, which will be Aeroplane. So we'll take a short break. I don't know how long right now until we see if the players just instantly ready up and we're ready to hop in, or if they will need a few minutes to recompose themselves before getting underway with the possible 3rd and final map.
המשכתי בחיפוש אחרי תנאי מחיה טובים עד שכמעט ואזלו המשאבים בים קום לחזור הביתה נקלעתי לפנטזיה עליתי קצת למעלה איבדתי גרביטציה פרידה השאירה חור שחור בלב בגודל אסיה אז התחלתי מחדש מול הגלקסיה טס לאן ללא ידוע לבד ולא רגוע הלב מאוד פצוע בכל זאת נוע הגעגוע הוא הכוח הכי גרוע אני לא נלחם בו וגם לא נשאר כנוע ממשיך מחפש עם השיט עם הסטרס מה שבא בשבילי זה הבסט אסדר את הווסט כנס לקווסט חפש את הפסט שחרר את הברקס ונקסט יו לבדי מבולבל מול הדיפ מאופן מי יגיד אם בכלל כולם אוהבים בחלל לפעמים זה לא קל אל תרגיש כה אומלל בוא איתי כי חבל כולם אוהבים בחלל
And the players are all now readied up, and we will be underway with the 3rd map of Airplane. MDR leading this series 2-0. Of course, it is a best of 5 though, so this could be the 3rd and final map if they do keep this up. Although MAM having the early luck, getting the early leads, and then it just doesn't work out in their favor. They just are not having the time of their lives. And then it just goes all downhill then. Especially in like the late rounds when it's so close, but it's so far. I know a few rounds were definitely just timing based and you can't do much against that, but it is definitely a rough time for them right now. Man will be on defense and we will have MDR on offense here. The early push to 1-1. Chuck will shut down Azius. And now Jeeves is on site though. Will shut down Meti. He's looking for more though. As Ezig does push out. Will shut down Jeeves. Looking for another. Gets Kwanzi as well. And he's, oh, but the third Tump is there, and Tay also fragging 2v2 situation. Chuck shutting down Tump, and it's all on Tay. M16 hand lurking around the smoke in mid, but will fall to Chuck. Absolute monster right now. He's 3-0 in this first round. Chuck, once he's awake, and he's raring, he just frags like no other. It is absolutely disgusting but beautiful to watch. In a strange masochistic way for the, well, at least for the other team. It's beautiful for his team, because you know you do not want to be facing that. But as he is being sprayed through the smoke, as he is trying to get the tags with the binoculars. Grenade coming in, but he's pushed extremely close. I don't think he quite saw him though, and will fall to Renners as he just sprays blindly through the door. But Jeeves is there awaiting. We'll get one kill with the AWM, turn to a 4v4 scoreline. Ezig also shutting down one. Jeeves just not being able to get the shot onto Kwanzi here. Onto Renners. I do apologize there. Leaving it all on Tump in the back of the site, but he will fall to Renners as he's played that trick already. Hiding at the back of the site only works a few times. And that is a second round now to MDR as they get the early lead. Bomb is actually left in spawn here, but Meti is now aware of this. We'll go to pick it up and go back towards 1. Kwanzi already got that early rotate towards 1. They're hedging their bets right now. With basically 4 members on site 1 here. Jeeves shutting down Renners, the early push. Meti though shutting down Kwanzi. As he is spraying through the smoke, gets one but will fall to Chuck. 3v3 situation. Tump still lurking around backside. But I'm assuming he won't make the same mistake as the last couple of rounds, as Kezian now shuts down Tay on the other side of the map. And Meti, in fact, will actually begin to rotate with the bomb. Tump may have spotted Kezian in the smoke there, but is left in the 1v3. And will now fall to Chuck. That is a third round to MDR. It does seem as though MAM are going for the aggressive play here. With Tump leading the charge, just dancing away from all the nades, but will go wait by windows. Jeeves gets one. Looking for more, but Chuck will shut down Azius, and that's definitely made Jeeves reluctant to go for a repeat. 4v4 situation. 0 and 3 still in favour of MDR. And Kezian getting the shot, but Jeeves missed. Tay being able to be there for the refrag 3v3 situation. As Meti now shuts down Tump. Looking for another on to Kwanzi here. Will fall to Tay? I think, sorry, that it just bugged out a little bit there. Leaving Kwanzi and Tay in a 1v2 versus Ezig to secure their first round. Pushing in close here. Going through Temple right now. Go peeking from the upper ladder area. Kwanzi looking the wrong way. Will jump out. And Ezig just throwing that round away. And that is the first round now for MAM. Love the team damage. Just casually shoot your teammate in the back of the back, you know? He can't carry enough already. But 3 rounds still in favour of MDR. MAM, though, finally on the board in this map. And Kezian getting the early kill onto Tump to shut him down. Especially when that's your point man. That is not going to be a fun situation 4v5 though. Ezig leading the charge is but Kezian will get the frag onto Tay here. Azius will get one but quickly refragged by Chuck. And now Kezian just going ham here, shutting down Kwanzi as well. Leaving it all on Jeeves and Kezian getting a 4th kill. Just what even is Kezian? He is just an absolute monster. 8-2 right now. And that is a 4th round on the board for MDR. And if they can get the 5th round, this could very much be game, set, and match for them. The Azia's spraying will get Meti here. At least giving them that little bit of an advantage going into this round. Renners though, peeking through the door. No one on the other side though. And Azia's getting another kill here, but Chuck finally will shut him down. 3v4 situation here. And Tump holding the close angle. Will shut down Kezian, but Chuck's there to refrag, leaving him in a 1v3. Half HP. Nades coming flying. They will spray through the box. Tag another one down low, and that is 2 members of Mam low. But Tay is still on full HP and around. And he's playing the flank game right now. So if Chuck isn't quick, he may be caught off guard. And he's holding the angle. But Tay just not wanting to peek. He just knows he has to hold here. Although he could go all the way back to spawn. Which, you know, could happen. But I feel, well, Chuck not taking the bait right now. And will rotate back towards site 1. 57 seconds left. Tay, now whether he could be back spawn, is it backing into the corner just in case. But luckily he won't have to worry about that as Jeeves will shut down Chuck, securing the 2nd round for MAM, and that is the end of the first half here. 4 rounds in favour of MDR to 2 rounds on MAM. But of course MDR are leading the map points by 2-0. They need only 1 map more to win this and secure 3rd place in this ESL final closed beta testing phase thing. Mabob, I'm awful with words, I do apologise. I don't know the technical name for it. And Chuck getting the early kill onto Tay here. And Ezig also trying to do some damage here. Will fall to Azius, but Kezi and Chuck both fragging as well. Tump finally with the nade will shut him down. Turns into a 1v3 for Tump. But he has picked up the AWM. Of course, the snipers can do a huge amount of damage here, especially if you if the opponents face you 1 by 1, and that is Kezian now out of the game. We're all on Meti and Rez and Renners. Of course, Meti is low, but considering Tump is using a scope, that shouldn't change too much about this game. And he is inching his way towards spawn here, seeing what he can spot out. As Meti's there waiting, will fall to Tump as well, leaving it all on Renners. But Tump is continuing to push up. We've seen this happen before. It's all over Renners. Will fall now. It's a 3rd round now for MAM. We've seen Kezian do the exact same thing pretty much, I think, in the semi-final. So it's not too much of a surprise to see people stepping it up with the AWM. But that's 3 rounds now for MAM. They are still in it to win it, although they have a long road ahead of them. Meti shutting down Jeeves here with the scope. Renner's getting a 2nd onto Kwanzi, but Azius pushing through the main door will shut down Renner's now. 3v4. Now 3v2 as a quick flurry of frags traded. And Chuck on the flank will shut down Azius, leaving it all on Tump. Again, the Uzi in hand will shut down Chuck now. And it's all on Ezig. 1v1. No, 1v2. I do apologize there. Tump in the 1v2 still. I don't know why the player count seems to like not update sometimes. It just messes my head a little bit. Yeah, Tump in the 1v2. Both members are low though, and against an SMG that is problematic, to say the least. Especially with the fact that they're both not looking in the right angles right now. One's holding window and one is holding spawn, but mid is completely open here, and that is exactly what Tump is pushing. Luckily, will turn as now both angles being held. ESL spotting him out and will shut down Tump. That is now a 5th round for MDR. And they're only 2 rounds away from winning 3rd place in this ESL A.V.A tournament. The box physics are beautiful, as Quanzi shuts down Renners though. The smoke looking for the peak, but no one is there on the other side. Now Tump shutting down ESL. This is a 3v5 situation, not in favor of MDR right now. But Meti is on the back of the site. Kezin also getting down Quanzi. Chug shutting down Tump as well. And this is now, oh my, it's all falling apart, leaving Azius in the 1v1 in fact. But Chuck, as he turns, Chuck will come out a peak, and that is a 6th round now for MDR. And we are now on match point. This has been a roller coaster of a best of 5 to say the least, but it does seem as though MDR do have the edge in the long run. But Jeeves shutting Kezin down here. Kezin being a little bit too cocky and will be punished for it. And Quanzi, where is it? Chuck was also tagged as well in mid. Quanzi shutting down Meti, and this is not going too well right now for MDR. But Chuck still hanging in there. Although he was tagged down, he can shut down Jeeves, as now looking towards site 1. And the push from mid is coming in. Chuck holding the angle here, just to see if he can get someone off guard. Will tag down Tump, but will not be enough to kill him. Renner's getting 1, getting 2. He's looking for more, but will finally fall to Tump, leaving it all on ESL. In the 1v2, both Tump and Quanzi are low, so this could go in his favor, but it depends what side they go to. And that will be 1. And ESL now aware of this as the smoke does come in. The plank coming in as well from Quanzi. And ESL pushing from spawn right now. Playing that close angle. Checking them all very carefully and methodically. But both members are holding this. But ESL holding the defuse. Will get the... Oh my lord and savior. GG's ESL with the ninja defuse for the win in the 1v2. What? That is just pure madness not to even check the bomb. I don't even... I'm lost for words on that round. But with that being said, that is 3-0 in favor of MDR, and they will secure 3rd